Welcome into Jags AM. It's Thursday, August 22nd. We're getting ready for the third and final preseason game of the year. Welcome into Jags AM. This morning, Brian Sexton and John Oehser are with me as we're getting ready for that final game. Our big thing number one is the final tune-up. We mentioned that the starters are expected to go about a half in this game, but Atlanta not playing any starters. So, Brian, what are you going to be focused on out there? Because they're not going up against the first-string Atlanta team, but what are you going to focus about for our team?
Well, my expectations, and I'm sure they're the same for Doug and his coaching staff, are that we play well, so to speak, right? The offensive line has a degree of cohesion. It's the first time we'll see all five of them out there throughout camp. I want to see the defense play fast like they have. I want to see my special teams perform at a regular season level. Even though I'm only playing against 2s and 3s, if that, because last week in Baltimore, the Falcons sat a lot more than just their starters. I want to make sure that we're out there doing what we do if I'm Doug Peterson.
Yeah, I think the big storyline, I don't know if we'll be able to judge it that well, but is the fact that the five starters in the offensive line are all playing together for the first time. So I think they'll probably get a little more of an extended run than they might normally because it's the first time these guys have all played together. I would expect, because it's the first time, there to be some hiccups. You'd like those guys to be coming out of this game saying, okay, we got all that aside, we're ready for the regular season as close as you can be. And I do sort of wonder if maybe you get Mac Jones a series or two with those guys after Trevor's had a chance at him. I don't know that, but it wouldn't surprise you if they sort of took that tack.
You know, if I go back to last year's third preseason game, John, they did pull Trevor in the second quarter. He didn't go into the third, which is, you know, kind of how you like to do that last tune-up before guys sit for a couple of weeks. I wouldn't be surprised at all. In fact, I think I would do it because he showed you last week when he started what he's capable of. You might as well get him some reps because if things go right, he gets no reps with the ones the rest of the way.
With the end of the preseason coming up, that means we're going to be looking at final roster cuts. So our second big thing today is going to be the 53. That 53-man roster cut down is on Tuesday at 4 p.m. John, I think most of it's probably set in stone at this point, but which group, if any, do you think will be the hardest decisions to make on this roster?
You know, it's tough because I think there's a decision to be made, maybe 6 wide receiver, deep into the offensive and defensive lines. But the reality also these days is once you get to that spot, then there's a high percentage chance these guys are going to be on the practice squad and coming in and off the roster. So I'm not trying to avoid the question. I just don't think as much about that hard 53 as maybe I did in 1999 when you shook these guys' hands, you were saying goodbye to them. Now you're saying, hey, we'll see you next week, and you know you're not making as much money as you were, but you're still doing okay. You know, so I do think, Brian, that the offensive line has some interesting decisions on who they keep, who they try to develop, who they have to protect. I think those are the decisions. Who are we going to let go, and can we get these guys back?
I'll give you two names that I think will be difficult. One is Javon Foster, the fourth-round pick from Mizzou, who has looked good on the training camp field and has played well at times, but probably not ready to help you. However, if you try to move him off the roster and get him to the practice squad, you risk losing him and big guys with potential. And I think I've mentioned my conversation with Tony Baselli about him 3 or 4 times, where Baselli was really impressed with his feet, and that says something. Big guys with potential, especially on the offensive line. They're hard to get to the practice squad, and they're hard to keep on the practice squad. The other is Jordan Jefferson. We didn't see enough from the young defensive tackle from LSU over the course of camp because he wasn't healthy. But last week in the game against the Buccaneers, he flashed. He made a couple of plays. Again, big guys with potential don't last in the practice squad. Well, that means maybe you're trying to keep 9 defensive linemen and 10 offensive linemen. Those 2 guys right there, at least to my way of thinking, could complicate the conversations when they get into those meetings early next week.
Yeah, I'd be surprised, Kai, if those 2 aren't on the team. I haven't heard that, but I'd be surprised for the very reasons Brian said. If you expose Javon Foster, 4th-round pick with that kind of size and ability, he'll be gone in 5 minutes.
Let me complicate things a little further with our final big thing, which is additions. Now, Brian, you talked a little bit about what they're going to do with the young guys, but also when other teams are cutting down their 53, that means other people are going to be available. Do you think there's a position group of need that maybe the Jaguars are going to be looking at to try to grab somebody off the waiver wire?
You know, to be honest with you, I don't. I think the obvious would be, well, you always want more pass rush, but let's be honest. When they cut players, they're not cutting players who rush the passer really well. They're not letting those guys go. And you signed a guy, Travis Gibson, who had been with Bill Shuey in the past, to be your third pass rusher. You're not going to go gamble on somebody that the Seahawks or Cardinals or Patriots let go just because, well, you didn't quite see enough and you think maybe this guy might be an upgrade. Those guys aren't sitting out there. So I'll be honest with you, I think this roster is in really good shape. You'd like these young guys to develop, and I don't think I'd go bring anybody in unless it was just absolutely a shocking name.
Yeah, you might see it at one spot. I can't even tell you what spot it would be because I feel like what Trevor said yesterday, this is the deepest team that this group, meaning Trent, Doug, Trevor, that bunch, has had here. So no position stands out as, hey, they need to go get this. And there's a reality these days, I think we talked about it in this show, that teams are developing their guys, and they spend so much time during the offseason developing their guys that they get them in their system. I don't think you'll see the Jaguars go after guys on other teams if they're even close to the guys they've already developed because they know these guys here. So I don't expect much movement on that front on Tuesday into Wednesday next week.
Cool. Stay with us here on Jags AM. Coming up after the break, we'll hear from QB1 as we get ready to take on the Falcons.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Calling all junior fire chiefs. Parents, register for your child to win the ultimate Jaguars game day experience. Sponsored by Firehouse Subs, cheering on the Jags from the Firehouse Subs fire truck at Everbank Stadium, flashing the fire truck lights when the Jags score. As honorary junior fire chief of the game, your child will receive a Firehouse Subs gift, and the whole family will receive 4 tickets and a parking pass to a home game this season. Visit Jaguars.com/sweepstakes to enter to win today. See website for terms and conditions.
Sudeth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudeth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudeth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudeth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jags. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudeth is helping you on moving day. Visit Sudeth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
Chelsea here with Renewal by Anderson. Renewal by Anderson specializes in energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors that are twice as tough as vinyl. Save money through the month of August and save $300 on every window and $825 on every patio door. Plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Some restrictions apply. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go to rbafla.com to book your design consultation today. License number CGC 1527613.
Ready to fuel up for summer fun? Join the MyGate Rewards loyalty program and pump up the savings. This summer, become a new loyalty member and save 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Already a member? Now you can earn rewards 10 times faster. For every $10 spent in store, save 5 cents per gallon at the pump. Stop by Gate today to crank up your summer savings. Offer ends August 31st, 2024.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Jags AM brought to you by Fields Auto, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. Welcome back in with us. We're getting ready for the final preseason game of the year. It's going to be in Atlanta. We head out today, a little over 24 hours until kickoff. And We heard from QB1 yesterday. Trevor kind of discussing, I know you guys alluded to this already, but he said this is one of the most talented rosters that he's played with.
This is the most talented team for sure since I've been here that we've had, and I think you guys that watch it every day could probably say that as well. So I feel really good. Obviously, that doesn't win you the games, though. You got to go out and play well and execute and put your best foot forward every Sunday and and stay focused on the main goal is to go out there every series, every play, and go earn it. But as far as a talent and depth standpoint, I think this is the best team we've had definitely since I've been here.
John, a lot of talent on the team, but doesn't mean anything if they don't go out and win. So how much pressure does this put on the situation? Obviously, it's his 4th year here and kind of progressing every year, but now it's kind of expected. What's the expectation of it?
I think there was going to be pressure anyway with from outside with the contract, with the 4th year thing, that I think I'm assuming his thought is, well, it's going to be pressure. I may as well have, the guys to go do it with that I trust and believe in. And I get the feeling, and I haven't had a chance to talk to him about this, but I'm not even sure he would be honest because you don't want to insult past stuff. But I think he looks around and sees Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas Jr. coming on, Christian, Parker Washington, Evan Ingram, Tank Bigsby, Travis Etienne. This feels like a group. The 22 team was really going at the end, and that receiver group meshed, and you felt like they had something. But I think he looks around and says, this is the best bunch of skill guys. And not to leave the offensive line out, I'm just saying that bunch. I get the feeling the receivers are going to mesh, and I think they're excited about what that might be in 3 or 4 weeks.
Just to go a little deeper on that, there are also some guys like Dearness Johnson who has a role, who at times has been impactful. And I keep hearing that at some point when Keelan Robinson gets on, and he's been struggling with a toe injury, he's the same thing. And then Brenton Strange has had a pretty good camp, and he's a guy. Those were guys that were always, key backups, like number 2s. And now you're looking down and going, well, number 3s, or if a guy's injured, they've got real depth here. But it does all come back to him. As I look at the roster, I think it's really good. I think they've done a nice job of putting the pieces together, and it's on the quarterback.
It is, and it's also going to be on the, offensive line, because we've talked about them a bunch. This is the first time we'll see all 5 of them together. Trevor talked about that.
Definitely. Just everybody. I mean, especially the guys up front and feeling the pocket and get that's because I don't get hit out here, and it's in the game. It's a different sense of urgency as far as my time clock, getting the ball out, and also just seeing different pressures and stuff. Because there's sometimes in practice you'll get beat on a pressure like I don't see it, and they make us hot, and in practice it's like I'm hot. In the game it's like I gotta get out. I'm gonna get smoked if I don't get out of here. So all those different things, it just feels different. So I think it's good to have your starting line and to feel the pocket and to move around and kind of test some of your protections as well. Like you do some new stuff and you want to see how it holds up against a live look.
Brian, this is the first time we're going to see that starting offensive 5 together playing with each other. Trevor got banged up at the end of last year. Some of that's his own fault for running around, but
I'm focused on left tackle.
Okay.
I'm focused on left tackle because Walker Little last year gave up the pressure in the Cincinnati game on which he hurt his ankle. And at the season finale, Cam Robinson, just be honest, was horrible against Arden Key. He just had a terrible day. These are guys who are highly paid, who are great athletes and capable of playing at a very high level. If Trevor is going to be able to stand in the pocket this year, that left tackle is going to have to stand up. And both of these are guys who are in important years for them, right? Because it's the last year of each of their contracts. So left tackle, I know everyone's focused on center and right guard or even left guard, but left tackle to me is where I'm going to focus my attention tomorrow night and then early in the season, because they have 2 very good left tackles who at times did not play very good last year, and they need them to.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from. I mean, a part of me thinks, we've talked about the offensive line so much for a year that I just kind of want to shut up and watch them on Friday. But, I think it's fair to watch the interior. They signed Mitch Morse, but Brandon Sheriff has been hurt most of the time he's been here. Ezra Cleveland's new, and the interior is such a topic last year. I have faith that I have seen these 2 right and left tackles play at a high enough level that I know they can do it. I haven't seen this interior bunch play together and do what they need to do, so that's what I'll be watching.
How long does it take to get that down? I mean, they talk about it being so important, and we haven't seen them all together. So is one game going to do it, or is it going to be in the season they're figuring it out?
Probably degrees. I mean, even Mitch Morse, when he spoke to the media a couple weeks back, talked about how difficult it is for an offensive line in the way you prepare in the NFL these days, because you don't have a lot of contact situations. And even Press Taylor's talked about it on the podium a couple times. You just can't judge what they do until you see them going live full contact. And that's where you get chemistry. So you hope they're okay to start and then a lot better at the end.
If they all play close to their potential, it'll be a really good offensive line. But we won't know that. And then you've got Mitch Morse in the middle of it, who was brought in to be a leader as well as, a road grader up front. And he's got to figure out, and he has to be in the live bullets to figure that out.
We're going to see it all in action on Friday night against Atlanta. Stay with us here on Jags AM. We get ready to tell you who we're looking at as key players in that game on Friday.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Hey Jags fans, stop dreaming of creating your game day fan cave and build the Jaguars den of your dreams with ZipChair. When it comes to maximum comfort, ZipChair.com is the only place for officially licensed Jaguars recliners, sofas, bar stools, office and gaming chairs, all featuring high-quality embroidered Jags logos. Crack open a few cold ones in the comfort of a ZipChair and make your home the place to be on game day. Head over to ZipChair.com and save 20% today. Use code JagsRadio at checkout. ZipChair.com, furniture for fans.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinder's home. How about 2.99% in year one in one of Dreamfinder's 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinder's home. Visit DFHSalesEvent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's DFHSalesEvent.com.
Sudeth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudeth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudeth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudeth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jags. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudeth is helping you on moving day. Visit Sudeth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
Calling all junior fire chiefs. Parents, register for your child to win the ultimate Jaguars game day experience. Sponsored by Firehouse Subs, cheering on the Jags from the Firehouse Subs fire truck at Everbank Stadium, flashing the fire truck lights when the Jags score. As honorary junior fire chief of the game, your child will receive a Firehouse Subs gift, and the whole family will receive 4 tickets and a parking pass to a home game this season. Visit Jaguars.com/sweepstakes to enter to win today. See website for terms and conditions.
Ready to fuel up for summer fun? Join the MyGate Rewards loyalty program and pump up the savings. This summer, become a new loyalty member and save 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Already a member? Now you can earn rewards 10 times faster. For every $10 spent in store, save 5 cents per gallon at the pump. Stop by Gate today to crank up your summer savings. Offer ends August 31st, 2024.
Sudeth is Florida's trusted and reliable moving company. Sudeth is proud to be the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. To get a guaranteed quote, visit Sudeth.com/Jags. All right, guys, we finally have reached the end of the preseason almost. We have our final game on Friday in Atlanta against the Falcons. We're going to travel today. So we're looking ahead. Who are some names? We know the starters will be in at least the first quarter, hopefully the whole first half. Who's somebody you're looking at in this game, Brian?
I'm looking at Chad Muma because the move to the strong side backer, he was an inside backer in the 3-4 scheme and in Ryan Nielsen's new scheme. He's a 4-3, and he appears well suited for it. A guy who plays up on the line of scrimmage, and I think he will continue to make his case for it in his third season. It won't be a given, though, because Yasir Abdullah is also making a transition, right? He was more of an edge rusher, outside linebacker in the Josh Allen mold last year as a rookie, because that's what he did at Louisville. But he was on the line of scrimmage last week, made a nice job to shed the tackle and duck in underneath and make the play on the running back at the line of scrimmage. And he's a guy who's really starting to grasp what they want him to do on the strong side. But I think Chad Muma might be in a position to really have an impactful year. He is a sure tackler, as you just saw right there, and is a guy who has a lot of, I say this to people go, I can't make a comparison, but he has a lot of the Posluszny traits in terms of the way that he studies the game, the way that he understands where to be. He gets the most out of his ability because of his work ethic. And Paul Posluszny did that so masterfully, always put himself in a position to make a play. And I see a lot of those traits. Again, traits, not saying he's Paul Posluszny. It's not a comparison. It's just looking and being able to see a couple of traits.
I think you compared him to Paz.
But I think he would not be listening to me then.
Muma's interesting because when you watched him in college, and you can't compare his level in college that he played against the NFL, but there were traits, as Brian said. This guy ran, he hit, he made big-time speed athletic plays. That hasn't really shown up in the NFL. Now, I get he's playing against faster competition, but I expected more flash the first 2 years. Mm-hmm. We've seen that a little more now. So you get the idea that, some guys when they come into the league, you say, well, scheme fit, and that's not really what it is. They just can't play. With him, you think, well, maybe he fits this scheme. Yeah. And I'm with Brian. I think he could be an interesting guy this season.
He told me on what is today? He told me on Tuesday that he really thinks that Sam linebacker spot, that strong side outside linebacker spot, is what fits him best.
I went with Gabe Davis, and he will on Friday. I think he'll make a play. Every time there's been a big moment situation in the preseason games and a couple of practices, it seems like Trevor gets him the ball in situations and he makes a play. He had a couple of the nicest game translatable receptions in practice during training camp that I remember. So I think he won't get to show everything that he can do. Trevor talked about it this week that Trevor thinks he has a lot more in him than he showed in Buffalo. A lot more versatility, and so I don't think he'll get a chance to show all that. But I was thinking about that this week with Gabe, that he might be the most important piece of this offense in the sense that you sort of know what you think Brian Thomas is going to give you. You know what Christian Kirk's going to give you, Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne. I think people don't quite know what to expect from Gabe. They think he's a deep ball guy because he had the big yards per reception in Buffalo. They seem to think that he can be a lot more versatile and a lot more involved in all of it. So he's very interesting to me as the season starts, how he's going to look and how he's going to matter to this offense.
He is as fearless a guy in the middle of the field as I have seen around here in a long time. He reminds me in that respect, to make a comparison, to Keenan McCardell, who
Paz and Keenan, all coming back here,
who never shied away from the middle of the field. And I watched him a couple of routes this week go right through the middle. I mean, right where guys get el-kabonged and knocked down, and made great catches and run after the catch. So he's not just looking to get the ball and get down. He's looking to get up the field. He's a complete receiver.
Well, first, nobody wants to get el-kabonged. And second, as you know, Brian, the Keenan comparison is interesting because when Keenan came in, he had a little bit of a name, and he had been good in Cleveland, but hadn't reached great. So Gabe Davis might be the same kind of opportunity where you find your fit at your next franchise.
Very exciting. I'm going to go to the defensive side of the ball for me. I'm going to do Darnell Savage. He will play in this game. We haven't seen him in action yet because he's been wearing that red non-contact jersey, but he got that off this week. And so he won't look lost out there because he has been practicing with the team all through training camp, just wasn't tackling people to the ground. He very well might be one of those players that has an eye for the ball. Obviously, we saw Darius Williams with a lot of interceptions last year. Darnell Savage kind of along those lines in the sense that he was talking earlier this week calling it a dynamic defense. He feels like there's a lot of playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. And the way that Ryan Nielsen is scheming things up, it allows each player to kind of play their role in the defense, but also have a little bit of autonomy as well. So leaving the way for something like that to come about. And I'm excited to see this full defense in action, whether it ends up being in this preseason game or week one. I'm just excited to see exactly how everything pans out.
I think they're excited to see Savage too, because they signed him. He has the ability. It was described to me by Dave Campo, the former Dallas Cowboys head coach who now works in the media locally, that there aren't a lot of guys who can play the nickel, man or zone. That it's just not as easy. One guy can do one thing well, another guy can do the other thing well. But the word on Savage is zone or man in the middle. He is comfortable and confident. And if that's the case, they have a really interesting chess piece to move around the board.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. He's sort of the guy, much like Gabe Davis, who I talked about a second ago. Savage during training camp has, and even in the offseason a little bit, sort of the overlooked addition, it feels like. People talk about Tyson, talk about Jarian Jones, they talk about Ronald Darby, and not really factoring in that they believe that they brought in a piece in Savage who makes them a much better secondary than they were. I've kind of been guilty of overlooking it because he's been in the red jersey, so you don't talk about him. But if he's what they think, they have a lot of confidence in Darby, Jarian Jones, Tyson. They think they're really good in a lot of spots, Cisco. If he's what they think, then there's a lot of high-end guys back there.
Very exciting. All right, stay with us. We're going to preview what's going on the rest of the week and what's coming up after the final preseason game.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Chelsea here with Renewal by Andersen. Renewal by Andersen specializes in energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors that are twice as tough as vinyl. Save money through the month of August and save $300 on every window and $825 on every patio door. Plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Some restrictions apply. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go to rbafla.com to book your design consultation today. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why they've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called The Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
The 2024 season is Pawsome. Register your pet for the Four-Legged Fan Club, presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital. your furry friend can access exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Fan club members will be automatically entered to win the Pet of the Game sweepstakes with 2 Jags tickets and sideline passes for pet owners and the chance for your pet to be featured on the video boards as Pet of the Game. Visit jaguars.com/promotions/4-legged fan club to sign up.
Jags fans want customized Jaguars furniture for your home? Check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. ZipChair is furniture for fans.
I ain't got that Gatorade in me. I'm a new man now. I'm an animal now. I'm back. They can throw me in the dirt. They can throw us in the dirt, we gonna survive. They can leave us out there on our lonely, we gonna survive. I'm gonna come back king of the jungle. No rap. I really like that for real.
Can confirm, Can Gatorade just hits different, especially in training camp. You definitely want to check out the Hunt Extras and Mic'd Up. Those are all on Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube page as well. And a new edition of the Hunt is going to come out week 1, I believe. I don't know if we have a set date yet, but it'll be out before the season opener against Miami.
You just follow up on Savage. The really nice part about Savage is they don't have to rush Jerry Jones in.
They do
right?
not.
Talented guy. They can bring him along. They can find a role for him, and he'll learn a lot playing with a guy like Savage.
Yeah, I'm excited about this rookie class, and I usually don't say that. When you take Brian Thomas Jr.,
Mason Smith,
Jarian Jones, Mason Smith, Cam Little, it's has a chance to make a real impact.
Mason Smith and Cam Little, the odd couple, they're best buds. I love it.
That's really cool.
Is that true?
Really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's very good. Check out Mic'd Up and you'll see it.
Mason Smith is so big, and Cam Little is just the most.
So small.
I just want to say he looks like a normal human being, right?
Sure.
He looks like a guy that you're going to see on a college campus.
Absolutely. Well, we love a dynamic duo. So check that out. Check out the final preseason game on Friday. We'll have the broadcast for you, of course, and we'll be back here on Jags AM on Monday to go over everything that goes down. Have a good weekend.